A reminder of the breaking news. A coroner has concluded that Jay Slater, who went missing last summer in Tenerife, died by accident after falling from height. Mr. Slater, who was 19, disappeared after attending a music festival last June. His body was found a month later following an extensive search. The coroner declared that Slater had fallen between 20 and 25 metres while trying to descend a ravine. It resulted in a skull trauma from which he would have died instantly. There was no third party involved, says Dr. Adley. Well, the teenager's mother, Debbie Duncan, paid tribute to her son, saying the following: Jay had a wonderful life full of fun, and he was always a joy to be around. He was always a popular boy and had many, many friends. Our lives will never be the same without Jay in it. Well, these are the scenes outside Preston Coroner's Court. We're expecting statements to be given very shortly. You can see the microphones assembled there. And we were getting more details as well from the coroner regarding the environment in which Jay was found. It was described as a mountainous area with inaccessible locations. Slater's body was found 8 metres above a dry stream bed, and mountain rescue crews had to descend around 20-25 metres to reach his body. The coroner described the terrain as very rough and said that factors that contributed to the fall were also a lack of training, poor judgment, a lack of sleep and a lack of water. And the coroner at Preston Coroner's Court, Dr. James Adley, said that those factors of lack of training, poor judgment, lack of sleep and lack of water would have compromised Jay's ability to react. And he also described the period leading up to just before Jay Slater went missing. He described how the 19-year-old had intended to get a bus back to his friends in Tenerife from an Airbnb that he had visited around 40 minutes drive away. And Dr. Adley decided that Slater's behaviour had indicated that he was still under the influence of both cocaine and ecstasy that morning. And he ran through a timeline of the contact before contact was lost with Jay Slater. He suggested that the watch showed that he was walking and was witnessed walking at a brisk pace down a road, approximately 40 minutes walk from the Airbnb. He called a friend and was said to be laughing and joking and leaving the road. The friend said that Slater did not seem in distress during that phone call at 8:21 in the morning. At 8:24, 3 minutes later, he contacted a friend on Snapchat who said that Jay was walking along a road. There was white blocks on the side of it, and he intended to walk back to the apartment while, I quote, still under the influence. Another friend at 8:32 called Jay Slater, who didn't know where he was, with mountains all around. He was described as being frightened. Slater told her he could not go back to the Airbnb, but didn't expand any further on that point. The friend, Lucy, had sent Jay a text telling him to go back to the Airbnb before it got too hot. But with just 1% of battery left on his phone, he made another call to Lucy Law for 22 seconds, the contents of which the coroner, Dr. Adley, believed got conflated with that previous call, but it was a timeline of around 50 minutes or so. And like I say, it was described where Jay Slater's body was found as rough terrain, inaccessible areas, very mountainous, and mountain rescue crews who had previously been conducting a quite widely publicised search. There was an awful lot of attention drawn on social media. You can see some of the crews and the volunteers as well who had gathered. They had publicly said that their search was being scaled down, but we do know that they had continued to search in a more private capacity, certainly without the media attention and the social media attention that had focused on that search, which had lasted a month. And we do know that ultimately they found Jay Slater's body. And like I say, he was found 8 metres above a dry stream bed. And the mountain rescue crews had estimated he fell between 20 and 25 metres. That fall, the coroner found, resulted in a skull trauma from which, and I quote, Jay Slater would have died instantly. The coroner also ruled that no third party was involved and that the rough terrain at the point where the fall occurred would have been a key factor. So too would have Slater's lack of training, poor judgment, lack of sleep and lack of water, and they were all factors that would have compromised Jay's ability to react. We'll bring you statements from his family outside Preston Coroner's Court as they happen here on Sky News.